It's the Agribusiness Report. I'm Tony St. James. We're joined today by the Honorable Randy Feenstra. Represents the 4th Congressional District of Iowa. Hey, great to see
Hey,
you.
Tony, always great to be on.
You know, it's kind of interesting because I know here in a few hours you're going to be sitting in the House Ag Committee hearing room, but the irony is, when you came to Congress, that wasn't even open, was it?
That was not. It was closed because of COVID. We couldn't do anything. And now you think of where we are, and this anticipation of this farm bill has been building for the last year and a half, and now it comes to fruition. Now we get to do it tomorrow, which is really exciting.
So obviously, the farm bill is, we've seen the text of it. Is it hitting your priorities?
You know, I'm so excited. I mean, when you think of Iowa and the 4th District, second largest ag district in the country, so corn, soybeans, cattle, hogs, I mean, it is going to the fundamentals of what we're trying to do. That safety net for our producers, whether it be livestock or whether it be commodities like corn and soybeans, from insurance to research to protecting animal diseases to also conservation. It hits on all those titles. And I'm really excited about this bill.
You mentioned livestock and indemnity. I just wonder, is it possible to make improvements as well?
Yeah, the livestock indemnity, I mean, just a great program. But the problem with the program is it's rebased once every year. And what we're doing is a new bill that says we're going to rebase once every 3 months. It's now going to be in the base text of the Farm Bill, which is really exciting. So, and that's a great thing because there's such fluctuations in cattle. So if you do it once a year, you can be caught on a low side or a high side, and now it'll be rebased every 3 months. So this is great for our cattle and livestock people.
There are challenges, though, that we can't necessarily address through a farm bill. And now I'm talking about some trade challenges out there. We know about the Mexican ban on GMO corn. But ethanol in Brazil, first, what are you watching? And second, how do we deal with it?
Yeah, this is a really big fight right now. It's very unfortunate. Brazil put a tariff on the ethanol at 16%. It's going to go up to 18% here very shortly. They believe that, that they don't want to see our product coming in, so they're going to put a significant tariff on it. And it has to do with other issues. There's always some background behind this. I think sugar has something to do with this and stuff like that. Not that it's a problem, but now we have to negotiate. Now, we talked to our trade representative, Kathleen Tai, and said, hey, we've got to resolve this. We can't go down this path of having this tariff on ethanol. So we're working through it. We talked to the administration. This is so important to our corn farmers, our corn producers, and ethanol. It really affects that commodity market.
Maybe on a grander scale, we're also dealing with an ag trade deficit. Just the fact we're importing more than we're exporting. Is that a concern?
It is. I mean, this is a $30 billion trade deficit. And what we have to look at is what other countries are doing. So all of a sudden we have the UK, we have European countries trading with other countries, not ours. And we're seeing that more and more. And that should be a clue, a concern, because we rely, we're continuing our commodity markets, our commodities are continuing to grow. I mean, our hybrids and stuff, we make more and more. We got to have a place to go with them. We can feed the world, but we have to have trading partners, free trade agreements to allow that to happen. And that's starting to shrink. And again, that's a very big concern when you start looking at commodity prices.
So could we, and I'm just kind of pulling this out of thin air here, could we kind of grow demand domestically in the meantime as a way to help, i.e. maybe year-round E15?
That's exactly right. I mean, we have to start looking domestically from biofuels, renewable fuels. E15 year-round would really help. And it really comes down to liquid fuels. All right, so there's an adversarial relationship right now that you have the administration that is just pushing the electric vehicles, demanding that by 2032 that you have 62% of the cars and the light trucks to run on electric. Well, first of all, we don't have a grid for that. But the alternative is bio and renewable fuels. And we can do this. And the refiners and everybody should be on board and saying, hey, we got to protect liquid fuels, and we have that opportunity. And what does that do? That also helps our producers by having a place to go with our commodities.
You can build up all of this, and I know that agriculture has a special place in your heart and in your family as well. But protecting that for the next generation, something known as the death tax, that still continues to come up.
Yeah, this is really a very serious thing. That when you think about that next generation, passing that farm land, the business on to the next generation, and yet when you do, you'd have to pay a 41% tax. All right, I mean, you're deceased, and all of a sudden they're reaching down the grave and saying, by the way, you owe 41% if you give that to your son or daughter. That's completely, I mean, it's a pilfer tax. So what we're trying to do is try to eliminate it, or at least try to extend where you can have up to $14 million of exemption to it. That goes all the way back to $5.5 million if we don't extend this tax cut that was in 2017. The bottom line is we really got to get rid of the death tax, because it is a pilfer tax, it's a double tax on people, and it's just unjust. And if we want that next generation to have farmland and not China and not other massive organizations, then we got to look into this.
So good to see you, and it's I always enjoy seeing the big smile, because I know that it means maybe not everything's going great, but you're having fun. Is that right?
That is right. I mean, when we talk about agriculture, we're always having fun, and you know this. I come from a little small town, but you know, when agriculture is successful, that school, that hospital, the main street, everything is successful, and that's why it's so important. We can feed the world. We have the capacity to do it. We just got to get regulation and all this other stuff out of the way, and we can do wonderful things.
It's the Honorable Randy Feenstra. He serves the 4th Congressional District of Iowa, but agriculture nationwide. From the Capitol, I'm Tony St. James. It's the Agribusiness Report.